Okay, at 6:07 on Monday, June 5th, 2017, this is the ID4 School District Board in Middlebury, Vermont. And I believe this is our last meeting ever. So I'm going to call it to order. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
We have one minor addition. We have some visitors from Mesa here tonight who are going to, from the Middlebury Education Association, who are going to talk to us, and we're going to talk to them about the work of Mesa when our board dissolves. And so we'll just add that to the report of the boards in the agenda. Or actually, let's do it after the consent agenda before the principal's report.
Sure.
Okay. Is that all right? Yep. Okay. All those in favor of the amended agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So minutes from last time. Did you guys all get a chance to look through the minutes? And the bills. Can I have just a motion to approve the consent agenda, and then we can talk about it? Thank you, Victoria. Any changes to the minutes?
No.
Okay. And bills. Does somebody have bills to report? Really? Don't know where Lorraine is. Darn. Okay. I guess we're going to also have to approve the final bills and the audits. We are going to have to meet one more time, actually, you guys. Sorry. Because we'll have to approve the audit and the final bills. So I guess we'll approve the bills next time.
Okay.
So just approve them. So the consent agenda will just be the approval of the minutes from April 3rd. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So you guys want to come up and sit closer, and we can and introduce yourselves?
I want to take seats that they're
I know, we have like
Floods of other
a huge number of members of the public here.
You guys want to sit this side?
Most everybody's on that side. So if you guys could just introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about what Mesa is. Can you see them in the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys can fix the screen. Okay, Jennifer McCarty, I'm the current treasurer for the next school year.
I'm Meg Del Giaco, and we just voted for as the co-chair for next year.
Adrian McIntyre, and I will help coordinate events next year.
So, I'm sorry, and we wanted to
And
know,
just
like,
a little bit about what Mesa does for people who may be listening at home.
so Mesa is the parent organization at Mary Hogan School. We're trying some new things this year. It has been a little bit dormant for a few years, essentially only doing the readathon. This year we've tried to do a couple of family community events, which have gone very well. We have one more upcoming next weekend, and a lot of it is to do with these two ladies that have really helped energize the organization again. So we're trying new things, hoping to get more families involved, at least to come to the events, and maybe then we can get them involved in the general workings of Mesa.
Mm-hmm.
So please feel free to.
I would say we'd like to build some school spirit at Mary Hogan, and just get families excited to be at Mary Hogan, to know each other, to know the school, to be comfortable in the school, and feel like they have a voice if they need one, and a way to communicate if they don't know how.
Yeah, a little bit more community engagement, I would say. Also, we are with this. We have an event coming up in another week or so, and we've been working with Elaine. I don't know how to say it.
Pentolari.
I don't know. Okay. And she is the
Title I
liaison.
Community liaison? Or
And that's
Tom
been-
might
Yes.
correct that
So
title. I don't know
her
if that's
role is
correct.
academic interventionist.
Right.
So, and she's the Title I community liaison.
And that's been nice because she's allowing she's charged under her with us with kind of encouraging more participation from a larger group of people.
Mhm.
So that's been nice. And she kind of wants to, she's reached out a bunch of times. So I think next year she's interested in working with us too.
The event we're talking about is on Sunday the 11th. It's an ice cream social, and Elaine, what did she name it? She named it,
It's in the bag.
it's in the
It's a book
bag.
giveaway
So
for
she's got
Saturday.
Oh, cool.
cloth bags that the kids will be able to decorate. She's got some free books, I guess they're gonna be picking out and putting them in the bag to go along with her mission of kind of making it a literary type thing. We were just kind of like, it's fun to have the kids at Hawk Zone and we'll have some ice cream and play and just kind of be there. And then she wanted to partner with us, which worked out really great.
I felt like some really nice.
Yeah, and I'd like to say we not only support parents, but we like to support the principal in his office and teachers when they need it. And we do fundraising also. We do the readathon, which provides money for all that sort of extras that isn't in the budget.
Hold on one second. Jennifer, are you able to come join us, or are you in another meeting right now?
I came here for the UD3.
Okay, so this is ID4, the Mary Hogan.
No,
but-
I'm not doing that one.
So, well, these are the women from MESA, the parent-teacher organization at Mary Hogan, and you may want to come and just hear what they're doing if you're going to continue on your committee on ACSD.
Sure.
Okay, or not. I just wanted to invite you to come if you wanted
Thank
to.
you. Yeah, I'm sitting in the room at,
Okay.
I don't know that I'll come
Okay.
to the formal.
It's Jennifer's on the ACSD board, and she's chairing a committee about community engagement. So she was trying to reach out to all the schools and the parent organizations at the schools.
You're not
Um,
filming here,
No.
It's like he's trying to creep it around.
Well, does anybody have any questions, first of all, for them, for what they're doing?
No, I just want to say thank you. I think it's been, Jennifer's done a great job with the readathon.
She's kept it
and getting
together.
Yes, she's kept it together. And I
Bare
think
bones.
she has successfully got some great people getting excited. And that's-
Well, it helps when you have something super, like, Adrian could not be more like, go Mary Hogan. And so it helps if you have people that are talking to their
Right?
friends.
She's an alum, so that's a big.
Wait, you're an alum?
Mary Hogan,
Yes.
That's cool.
But I'd second that. There's a renewed enthusiasm around Mesa, and it's feeling very hopeful, and I'm
We had a
optimistic
really good
about.
meeting with Tom, were there 10 or 12 people there, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in
Yeah.
comparison
And there
to
were at
previous
least
couple
5 people that emailed me that day, bummed that they couldn't be at the meeting. But we had I thought we had a great discussion about communication
So too.
and,
Excellent.
And we're trying to receive that feedback, and then with the ACSD focus on communication, we tried to leave with things that we think are actionable from the suggestions and concerns and comments that the parents asked at the meeting, and I do feel like we're going to be able to act on most of those.
yeah, I mean, that was
In the
really
near
nice, Tom,
future.
just to see you, wrote our notes, then kind of said, here's what I heard, here's what I can do, and this is what I can be done, which was really nice.
Nice.
So thank you for that, too.
You're welcome.
So, go ahead, Jason.
Just wondering, as we kind of move forward toward the time when ACSD takes over, are there specific things that you'd like the ACSD to consider that we can bring to that board that would help with your ability to kind of rejuvenate Mesa and do the work that you're doing?
I think in terms of rejuvenating Mesa, it's just spreading the word to parents that all are welcome, and it's not actually a huge commitment. You can come and go at certain events if you want, but I think we do have some questions around how we're gonna function, maybe particularly financially, and how that will work for us.
That's
Is
a
that
big
right?
open question,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because before we sort of just ran it through Mary Hogan, and it seemed kind of loose, our relationship, because I think it had been there for so many years. But now that we're one, I'm sure other parent groups in other towns have
Yeah.
the same question.
Karen Hill
So-
has told me the ACSD, and I don't know if she's speaking for them or just relaying information or what, but they want us to become a 501c3 and be separated from the
Who told you that?
Karen Hill, Thomas administrative
Oh.
assistant.
I don't know for sure, but, I mean, do you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's where we're going with all the.
Okay.
That's kind of the proper protocol for
Yeah. So
those funds, instead
I'm
of having
gonna
them held by.
kind of be taking on, hopefully, once we wrap up some of the stuff we're doing, the role of like investigating what's entailed in becoming a 501c, So Jen Quinn is actually going to be running the readathon next year, and she recently told me that she talked with her husband, and Ripton's, I guess, actually in process of doing this. So I was going to get in touch with whoever that person is and see if they can give me some pointers or.
So I'm sure that our business manager, Josh Quinn,
Right.
can help you guys with it a
Yes.
little bit if you needed help with it.
Is it necessary that they be full 501c3 designation or just a nonprofit separately charged?
I'm not sure if it's just 501c3. It could be another,
That's
Kind
not
of what our concern was.
yeah.
That's a lot of administrative work.
Well, my concern was the work
Yeah.
and the money that's involved with
Yeah, I mean,
getting
that's
that.
lawyer
So-
money, there's
they have
a
more
lot
bylaws
of involved in a full federal 501c3 and a lot of time.
Yeah.
So if it's not required in terms of our financial relationship with that, I really.
I think the transition, I don't believe a formal communication has happened with all of the parent groups yet. So that's something that Josh
Well,
will
that's
be
why I thought
working on.
Josh, if he can put me
Yeah.
in touch with whoever this is, and
Yeah.
it's already kind of.
And
got the
if
ball
we
rolling.
could
Yeah.
communicate with all of them, so we're not all reinventing the wheel.
Right.
Could maybe
Yeah.
do it together, so.
And Jason, I don't know, are you saying there's like a state of Vermont kind
Yeah,
of
you can
designation?
incorporate it as a nonprofit in the state of Vermont, that's easy.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, you just.
It's
like-
just a paperwork, it's just a form, yeah.
There's,
Oh.
but the difference with the 501c3, that's a federal tax designation.
Right.
And so you have to go through a number of IRS hoops to demonstrate, and it sort of meet a number of standards to demonstrate to the IRS. here.
I did do some research on it. It did look like there are maybe some shortcuts for PTOs.
So the other option that would be worth looking into, Peter, is there an existing 501c3 that can act as a fiscal agent for a variety of these school organizations? So you can have a 501c3 organization that acts as essentially a pass-through to smaller organizations that are not 501, that haven't gotten that far yet. That's pretty common. So fiscal supervision, that's something that we're looked into too. So maybe there's one organization that can take that on for all of these fairly small
Yeah.
school-based organizations, and that might make things a lot easier if you do need the 501c3 designation. But it'd be worth looking into whether it's
Yeah.
actually necessary, and if not, just.
It was discussed, I know, with the auditor over this past year.
Right.
So I'm not, I would have to ask Josh exactly what he learned from that.
In order to be in order for any donation to the organization to be federally tax deductible, you have to be a 501c3. Or it has to go through a 501c3, that's the fiscal agent. So that's an advantage in terms of fundraising.
Right.
Again, there's no reason.
And that was one thing I talked with Jen a little bit about, because I said, whatever happens is probably not going to be in place by fall.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, that's only a few months away, and we start fundraising in the summer for the readathon happening in November, and with businesses. So we have to be upfront with them about what the situation, we can't act like it's still a donation to Mary Hogan School, because it's, if we're separating, it might not be unless they, it could get very murky, like making.
you
check
can
out to
also
Mary Hogan
have them
School.
be different funds within the, so,
The district could be the fiscal agent.
yeah, the district can be the fiscal agent,
Well, I
and
think
so
we
that's.
have been. haven't
Yeah,
we?
exactly,
That was,
so.
that was the issue
with a
that apparently
separate
was
fund.
raised. Was
Well,
there was-
but I think that it sounded like they, and I'm repeating what someone told me, which was told to them, so it's not probably entirely correct, but that they didn't want the commingling of responsibility for it. I don't know if that's true.
So that's something that we can explore.
Yeah, it sounds
I
like
don't
we
know,
need to all get on the
Josh?
same page with it. Josh is the
Well, I'll talk to
business
Josh
manager,
about
yeah.
it, just because, you know, these things one by one are harder than just a blanket, like,
Right.
you know, bringing people together and talking about one approach, so that,
And I don't know, but, you know, I mean, to us, it seems like a lot of money that we raise with Refund, but really it's not,
Yeah,
in the scheme of things.
right, right.
You know,
Hey.
it's like $14,000. So I mean, that's great. We're like, yay, we did a great job. But you know,
I'm sure that's phenomenal.
no, I know, but like
But in the scheme of nonprofit
the
fundraising,
district, it's
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
You know,
think
and I have no idea what the other schools do.
There are probably a variety of options.
And I did talk to somebody. It sounds like some of the schools they raise money for a very specific purpose. Like Waybridge, I think is a barn dance or something, and they give it to like X fund, like for the something.
Right.
Other ones, and ours is kind of like all over the place.
Yeah. Well, it seems to me that we don't want to cost you money and time and headache, so that we
Well, that was the
should make
concern
sure
I had,
that,
Yeah.
actually the money going out.
yeah. Okay, it sounds like we can get this sort of on the same page, and you will talk to Josh about it. And the other thing I just wanted to, the ID4 board has for many, many years, in some ways, acted as a parent group. Most of us, in fact, all of us here at this are parents of Mary Hogan kids. And so when there's a concern that's brought to the board, in a lot of ways, it's like a parent group talking to the principal. And in past years, it really has been just the board talking to the principal. And it's become much different over the last few years. And then as we move into ACSD, it will be one step even more removed. So a lot of what the ID4 board has done in terms of talking to parents and relaying their concerns to the principal, we're not doing anymore. And the ACSD board won't be doing that. So wanting to make sure that you relay to parents that Mesa needs to fill that void to
Ruth,
the
I'll
extent that
tell
there's
you-
a void that's left.
Maybe Tom, didn't hear a lot from me, but if I heard from a bunch of parents, something, I sent you that note this fall that I had, kind of taken a poll to see if they wanted to talk to you about stuff. So I do take that seriously, as I was last year, like the only representative, like official
Right.
representative of Mesa. If people were telling me things, I heard it a few times, I would let Tom know.
Right.
So it wasn't a complete.
No, I wasn't suggesting that you weren't already doing it, but just the fact that we're all going away and not going to be doing
More informal
that.
than something like,
Yeah, and so having Mesa be that conduit for parent communications with the principal, because this board won't be here to do it anymore. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that's a lot of what the ID4 board or any of the littler school boards have done in the past. And
Tom's been really open about saying he'll either just come or is available to come.
But I think that's going to be an
just need
important function moving forward, is to be able to have those, to have that conversation outside a decision-making and policy-making body,
more of a conversation.
when it
Yeah.
can be conversational like it was at the last meeting, and has been at some other meetings. I think
then-
that's going to be a great function.
when the school board, the ACSD board has things that are of concern, like, that parents may want to weigh in, like whether it's the looping issue that Tom dealt with, or the larger issue of what to do with sixth grade, having Mesa be able to, meet and talk about it and say, the Mary Hogan parents, or at least the Mesa represented Mary Hogan parents, have talked about it, and this is the general feeling. That would be another really good function to come to school board meeting, ACSD board meetings, and let the
Are we talking like a
ACSD.
parent representative from Mesa attending the meetings, or making sure that we speak to Tom, so when Tom comes to the meeting?
I think a parent rep attending the meetings, when there's an issue that's relevant, not every single meeting, but, paying attention to what's going on, and, if there's a big issue that you think Mary Hogan parents are particularly gonna wanna weigh in on, one of you or your predecessor, or your successors coming to the meeting and really
And
being
what
engaged.
this is good too, Ruth, is that a lot of parents are coming to us and saying, how can we help, how can we get involved? I mean, that's a great task
Yes.
to assign.
Yeah, and if you want to keep track of what's going on, like, having one of your reps come to a meeting and just sort of follow what's going on. Sometimes the teachers will send reps to meetings to follow what's going on, and having parent reps here too, because just with one step removed, it will just be nice to know that Mary Hogan parents are following what's going on. Yeah. Does anyone want to add anything? Okay, do you guys have any questions for us, or,
I just want to thank
Go ahead.
Mesa for all the work that they've done, the fundraising, but also the new energy that I'm sensing in the group, and I think it's happening at the right time, and
Yeah, absolutely.
we're-
It's great
we're
timing.
I'm really excited about where we're going.
I think we have some new good parents involved. They all can be moms, so if anyone knows a dad, I know that wants to come. We'd love a dad too.
And they have young kids, so these two are gonna be around for a
There
while.
are a lot of,
But yeah, I think there's some great new parents, and the events we've had, everyone's sort of really chipped in, so nothing has felt monumental to anyone. And Jen Quinn volunteered to do readathon, which is amazing. Huge.
Yeah, she volunteered.
Yeah, that's really great. Well, the first time I met Jennifer was actually counting money for the readathon. So it's really nice for those of us who have I only have one more year. You guys all have more years, but you only have one more? No, you have, yeah. I only have one more year at Mary Hogan, so it's really nice to hand it off to some people who I know are gonna do a great job and be there for the school, because a lot of people have worked really hard for a lot of years, and to have this renewed energy is really fabulous. So thank you so much. Thanks for coming, and please reach out to any of us over the next, forever. I don't know, maybe not forever, for a long time. The next few years, if you have questions, because we've done a lot of stuff in the school, so. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So, yeah, go for it.
Okay, so next item will be the principal's report, and it did go out, you'll find it around page 4 on the mailing. And some of this is sort of backward looking at the month of May and all the things that happened in regard to testing. If you had students who were complaining about the number of assessments they were taking, you can go with that. You know, we do feel like May is a really heavy testing month, and if you are in 4th grade, you really feel an undue amount. 5th grade felt it, so, because there's kneecap science, the FAST assessment, which is a quick screening assessment, and then the SBAC, the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium assessment as well. So the FAST we choose to take because it gives us an understanding of the growth that students have experienced during the time that they've been testing, and it lets us then hone in on any students that we think we need to learn more about. Though this May assessment in general for FAST is letting us document growth over the course of the year. And then NECAP, remember that's the New England Common Assessment, and it used to be that the students took NECAP in reading, mathematics, and science, and now they only take it in science in 4th grade, though they'll also take a middle school science test and a high school science test, I think 8th and 11th. Right? And then the SBAC test is reading and mathematics. So there was some assessment. It's not all we did, but you may have gotten some feedback from your children that it felt like a lot of assessment, and we would agree. I would say that some of the components of those assessments are now, they're nuanced enough assessment that it is a good learning experience for students. For instance, when they're taking the math SBAC assessment or the reading assessment in SBAC, it is leveling with them as they're answering questions. So a student who's getting a question correct is then challenged with a new, slightly more difficult question the next time through. So they are involved in reading and answering interesting passages that are at their level, that is testing their reading and comprehending ability. The science assessment, same is true for mathematics. The science assessment, they do a group science activity together where they're actually working on lab-based science, recording information, and then interpreting and analyzing that information. So it is a good day of science instruction followed by science interpretation. Okay. So that's a little bit about the assessment. I mentioned that we all visited, the 5th graders went to KEEK, May 1st through the 5th, another great week out there. I gave a web link for anyone who'd like to see a bit more about the KEEK curriculum. KEEK, Keewaydin Environmental Education Center, or Environmental Education Camp. And for those of you who know Lake Dunmore, it's on the Sangadiwan side of the lake, so it's on the western shore of the lake. Boston trips mentioned here. Trout in the Classroom, May 17th, we had our release. And I pushed out some thank yous here to Steve Flint, state biologist from the Vermont Fisheries Department. The Audubon Society showed up in force to help us with birding, and various members of the Vermont chapter of Trout Unlimited and some parent volunteers. So we pulled a great day, and other than having to work on the lock on the one outhouse that's up there. It was all a success. So, yeah, I won't go into any more detail about that. I have some things I'd like to joke about.
Off the record.
Yeah. We also hosted a safety fair, and I again would like to thank all the members of the community who participated in the safety fair. So we've been feeling for a long time that it might be great for our students to understand more about the whole range of people that are involved in making sure we stay safe as a community. And so we had reps from Middlebury Fire and Rescue, and we all, principal included, got a chance to shoot a water hose at a target, hit the target at a distance, and it would knock the target down. That was a high-interest event. We had representatives from Middlebury Police Department and the Vermont State Police, and they had a canine unit there, and the students were able to meet the dog. And then we did have the dog do a search of a student, and the student was one of the trooper's sons, so he was hidden at a point distant in the field, and they had the shepherd scented him with it on his hoodie, and then tracked him and found him. Some fun stuff like that. We saw some canine agility. That was great. We had a game warden who was there who brought one of their quad runners and a Lake Champlain patrol boat, and students got to go all over the patrol boat as they checked it out, and so high interest there as well. Vermont Forest Parks and Rec were here, Safe Bikes Vermont, and Betcha Transit. So a whole host of Vermont safety offerings. So thank you again for all those providers. I listed some of the activities. We've had the Junior Flower Show, May 18th. Spring Concert was May 19th. So it's been busy, and that was beginning band, advanced band, jazz band, and chorus. So there were 4 different ensembles that performed that evening. So thank you to Sonia Kohovic for organizing that whole event, and the teachers and Mr. Lindeman who all attended to help organize. And then I also listed some upcoming events. Well, a couple of these are still back looking. We had great attendance at the Kindergarten Parent Orientation Night. That was June 2nd. Mesa representative spoke and offered as a point of contact for parents. And it is, I'd say to any members any parents who are watching who weren't able to attend, if you have questions about the kindergarten upcoming this year for your children, please reach out to the school. We think we've identified almost all of the students who will be attending kindergarten in the fall, but if there's anybody out there who was not able to attend that night, come on into the office, call us, or come in to visit, and we'll make sure we do everything we can to make sure we're welcoming you into the kindergarten year. 6th graders are headed to MUMS on Wednesday. We've got a 5th and 6th grade track meet on Thursday. Those are both this week. Again, the Mesa Ice Cream Social and event at Hawk Zone will be June 11th from 3 to 5. There's a school year end of the year picnic. It's on Thursday, June 15th. It's during the regularly scheduled lunch times. Parents and guardians are invited. So you can come. We often do that at the front of the school, and it's burgers and hot dogs, coleslaw, an ice pop or similar, and you're welcome to come and attend with your students if you like. There's a step-up day, June 19th, that's K through 5, where they'll go up to, if they're moving up a class, if they're changing a class assignment, and that's again 19th. Report card and placement letters are going home on the 20th. Last day of school, Tuesday, June 20th. It's a full day for all students other than grade 6, and grade 6 will have a promotion ceremony in the morning along with a tea just after, and then 6th graders can leave with their parents following the ceremony. And again, parents and community members are invited to that ceremony. We think it's appropriate for a 6th grade promotion. It is during the day. We sometimes get some feedback about could it be in the evening? Should we attach a dance to it? We've kept it as the 6th grade promotion ceremony, and we think it's in keeping with what 11 and 12-year-olds need in terms of the developmental aspect of it. It runs about 40 minutes or so, and we do there's some academic recognitions there, but we are trying to bring all of our sixth graders together, and for many of them, recognizing the end of 7 years, or in some cases, if they've been with us for early ed or Head Start, it could be 8 or 9 years that they've been at one school. And so we get them as 3, 4, or 5-year-olds, and then send them off often as 12-year-olds. So we want that culminating activity to recognize all the great work that families and students and faculty and staff have put into their educational experience. So
Okay,
that's what I got.
thanks, Tom.
Okay.
Any questions for Tom? Okay. The next thing is that we have to approve a few documents related to property transfers to the ACSD. So attached to the agenda are the documents we have to approve. One of them actually, I want to just look on here. One of them is related to transferring the deed to the nursery school, and the other 3 are related to the property transfer from ID4 to ACSD. The first thing we have to do is appoint 2 people from the board to act as duly authorized agents for the district, so that all of us don't have to sign everything and go to every meeting. Unless we want all of us to sign everything and go to every meeting, we can appoint one person and then an alternate to be the representatives for the board for when there's the sort of property transfer, just like your mortgage when you buy a house. So, and then there's the transfer of, and then that person will act as the agents for assigning property, sale of property, and the warranty deed. So, is there a motion to do this? And are there 2 people who are willing to do it?
So are they doing it all at the same time? Is there gonna be like one meeting where all of the?
Frankly, I'm not positive about
No,
that. I
so
don't.
whatever the documents-
Oh, Josh,
Sorry,
thank you. Hi.
So the documents are signed to say as of July 1, just like the.
Okay, so you just stop in at,
Just stop in, they need to be notarized, so
Yeah.
just, and Lee, our office is a notary, so.
Yeah.
Is the first one intended to be the nursery school one? Because there's one in here that transfers to the nursery school. Is that supposed to be in here?
Yeah, because they haven't filed their paperwork yet.
Okay,
So once they file that paperwork, that will offset that.
Okay.
Their new deed that we do.
so the 4 documents are a signing of the agent, the deed, the nursery school deed, bill of sale of ID4 property to ACSD, and warranty deed from ID4 to ACSD. Those are the 4?
Yep.
Okay. And we need 1 agent plus an alternate, basically. So this person or this person can do the signing. Okay. And this came up earlier in the meeting. We don't have the information for the bills tonight because Lorraine's not here, and she usually is the keeper of bills information. So plus there are still more bills for FY17 to be signed. So presumably this board would have to meet one more time to approve final bills and a final audit. Is that correct?
The audit's an interesting question, since that's usually not even out until after the first of the year. I'll have to look into that.
Well, we had talked about last year asking the auditors to push that process
Yep.
earlier so that we could do it before the board's dissolved.
Yep. And as far as the bills, I'll have to check on, because there's a number of our boards that just come in, they sign them,
And the boards actually don't approve them?
right, and the boards don't approve. So they've already designated 2 people to sign when the board is not meeting
Okay.
in between.
We have people who sign, but then the board always approves them. So, I mean, we could set up a phone meeting to do that too, I think. But if you could just let me know what you find out about those two issues. That'd be good. Okay, so are there any other questions for Josh before we do this? Jason?
The documents refer to the school district as a municipality.
Yep.
Is that accurate?
Yep.
For the purposes of legal document? Okay.
Any other questions for Josh? Okay. I'm willing to be one of the people. Is, Amy, since you're the clerk, would you be willing to be the other person? Sure. Okay. So could we have a motion to
I
appoint?
move that Ruth Hardy is the designated signee for 84, and Amy is the
Alternate. Okay. And then, so if we do this all in one motion, and then what else do we, there was a language
Yeah, the
for,
motion for the AGM, all you need to actually move.
okay,
And then those people signing the documents is a whole separate process that we do in front of the notary.
okay, so we don't sign anything tonight, it's just, you'll call us when the notaries. Oh, this needs to be signed by all the school board members tonight?
Yes, so we fill the
okay.
names out and then sign. And then
Okay, all right, awesome, thanks, Josh. All right, so all those in favor of the motion? Aye. Opposed? Okay, so I'm gonna pass this along, there are way too many spots, but here, do you mind if I just use your pen to fill this in? It's blue. I think we all have to sign it. Yep. Well, Lorraine's not here, so. All right, I think, oh, sorry. I think that's all we have unless there's any final business.
So it's all just back up, Larry.
Words of wisdom. Anything else you want to discuss? Just an update on the food service thing. I think, are you guys able to make it to there's a food service taste test meeting next week on the 9th, I believe, or this.
I think it's the same time as the prize.
Oh, they changed it to next Tuesday, the 13th.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
and I haven't RSVP'd yet.
Okay, so there's a meeting next week with the food service people that Amy and Victoria and I were invited to, and I think it's related to some of the issues that have come up with the food service meal sizes. I also did a little bit more research and talked to a couple more people, and it is another issue where the food portions are K through 5 and for the elementary school, and then there's 6 through 8 for middle school. And so Mary Hogan uses the K5 through 5 portions, and then they move up for middle school.
Maybe 6th grade to middle school.
Yeah, I've heard that's being discussed. So that is one issue as to why now they're a little smaller. Yeah, Jen?
This is not about portion size or anything. Is it true that Lucky Charms are available in the morning for breakfast?
I have no idea.
My kids have been telling me this, and I'm like, seriously?
Do you know that, Tom? Are they? Do we have Lucky Charms?
I have
Got
not,
breakfast the other day, the first time like all year, and they were like, "There's Lucky Charms." I was like, "I hope you didn't get them."
so.
We'll look into it at the taste
So
test.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the cereal.
It's not the case.
I'm trying to think if there may be a Lucky Charms like
Well,
cereal that's
yeah.
presented
Does
there.
anyone else want to come to the taste test? If you want to, I'm sure we could get you invited. Or
No-
Mesa,
but
do you
no
want to
Captain
send it?
Crunch. No Captain Crunch.
So that's all I know about the portion thing. I think it's next Tuesday at 9:30, is my recollection. Not a week from tomorrow.
Right, I thought it was,
At school?
I'll look it up and email you.
13th, I think so, but I don't think I can go, because
No, Amy's got.
I'm doing the book stuff.
oh yeah,
Oh.
it is, I did RSVP. It's
Okay.
the 13th at 9:30.
13th at
You
9:30.
are going.
I'm going.
Victoria and I are going. We'll tell you how the food tastes. All right. Okay, that's the only thing that was left hanging, I think. Anything else? I'll let you guys know if we have to meet to sign bills and pass the audit. And otherwise, I think this is probably the last time we're going to meet. So thank you all
Hip, hip,
so
hooray.
much. Yeah, and still, run for school board, you guys. There's still a school board. You too, Amy. All right, so I'll call the meeting, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're adjourning at